Go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to take two of FTW Future Focus on this fine Sunday afternoon. Um, we had a technical difficulties galore here a little while back, but I believe we're okay now. Bear with us. As you know, I am your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, and beneath me is the silent but deadly man from Chicago, Illinois, and he has about as much use for women's wrestling as I do for a Santa Claus suit. He is Marvelous Marcus Buckley. How you doing, sir?
Hey, well, in Chicago, another snowstorm here,
Y-
and,
y-
and it's Bears Packers. So yeah,
Well, bears, packers, and snow. That's about the story. And the founder of our feast, the man, the myth, the legend, the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? It has been a very entertaining week. It has been some very entertaining times, and I got a lot to get off my chest today.
Oh yes, we're kind of winging it today, as as technology and formats allow. But Bobby, you and I had an interesting experience this past Wednesday. We were in Fishers, Indiana, and we went to Dynamite Live, and. Part of the reason that we are unformatted this week is so that we can freely discuss that show and our impressions of AEW overall. And Bobby, I'll open the floor to you and let you start this.
Marcus, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. You know how I am about AEW.
funny, that's why I was shocked. He said y'all were going last week. I was shocked.
You know how I am about AEW, but one of the things I try to do is I always try to give a place a chance. I do. I sit there and I just don't say, "Hey, you suck. Ain't no coming back. You're a vacuum cleaner. Go clean some carpet somewhere." I don't do that. I try to do certain things to where, number one, on a forum like this, people can speak their mind. People can say what they feel. I'm sorry the chat is not up right now. We have technical difficulties, but please feel free to give your questions on the Facebook page or the YouTube page, and then we will address them next week. We will. Okay, I promise you that.
Mm.
But I try to give everybody a chance because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen. So I sit here and I wanted to do AEW because I wanted to compare how it felt from when we went on the initial show back a few years ago
Yeah.
to what it is now.
Hmm.
I wanted to do a proper comparison contrast between the two so people can see and people can get an honest opinion on, hey, is it worth going to these shows? Or B, should we just say screw it altogether? Also, it'll give you some information on how when you come to another city, the trips to go to, I mean, how the venue is and things of that nature. So it's a whole list of things that I'm going to be breaking down here. Marcus, I'm telling you, bro, we get there, and I'm already. If people don't know, when I travel, I have to have a wheelchair now. I can't walk that
Hmm.
far. Um, Heart's giving me problems, so get the wheelchair. We'll be all around. At first, I thought they was horsing me around, but the venue, I got to give the props out to the Fishers Event Center right now. My God, you talk about some excellent customer service. I have never been treated so well in my life.
Okay.
Mm.
These guys pulled out like almost it was more than a red carpet. Every single person that I ran into there, perfect. I mean, They were hospitable. They were nice. They were caring. They were attentive.
Mm-hmm.
They showed us to our seats. They didn't even they didn't even want the wheelchair back because they heard I had a heart problem. What they did was they took out the seat that was sitting there so I could put the wheelchair there.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
I mean, Fisher's Event Center, you got something good going. I will be back for other stuff, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, it's a great venue.
the only thing that made me mad was they had a Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. I was mad. I was looking forward to that. We couldn't get the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yes, we looked through 3 restaurants in the vicinity, in the facility before but we had to give up because nobody was serving what they had on the menu. But
Right.
Philly steak egg rolls sounds delicious, and we both wanted to try them, but no place in the building seemed to have them in stock. So
Yeah, so only minus. The only minus. Other than that, it was on point.
yes,
Now, prepare to spend some money though.
yes.
I will say that. My Crown and Coke, a cup of Crown and Coke, $26.
God damn.
Yeah.
It was a double, but it was about that size. You know what I'm saying?
But
Little piece-
granted, it did come with a souvenir cup.
Yeah,
but
it did. It did that too.
that's still not worth $26. No.
With all the polite staff that they had, though,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say this: you gotta pay good people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a good cream of the crop if you don't pay them. So even though I think it was a little pricey, I'm seeing where they're putting their money at, and I can't be mad now. I mean, I can't be. I wasn't mad then, but I can't be mad because at least you see they spending the money on quality people where you're gonna be treated right. You're not getting someone that ain't hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of can excuse it. The second thing that we got, I got a Philly cheesesteak. He got a pork chop sandwich.
Yes.
Fire, dude. And this ain't some type of sandwich. I call it the Chinese food syndrome. The way you eat the sandwich and the hour later you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I was done. That Philly cheesesteak sandwich was huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
How much was
Tastes
that?
good. I mean, I'm going to say Maxwell Street worthy, dude.
Yeah. The meals themselves were about $20 each, I think.
15 to 20. Yeah.
15 to 20. Yeah.
That's
But
about
they
the
were
same.
worth it.
That's just about the same as United Center. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they
just
were
about.
worth it, though.
Yeah, they were worth it.
They were worth it.
Yeah.
Whoever's in that kitchen had to be in school for like 6 years, bro.
Oh yeah, the
'Cause-
pork chop sandwich was fantastic. It's just I wish that they didn't serve it in a sandwich because you got to pull the thing apart on the bread. But once you get past that, it was absolutely delicious.
Okay.
Especially with the fries and rings that they served it with as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, it's a meal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent for a meal then. I'm thinking it was just a sandwich.
Oh, but get this. Alcohol is no problem there. They got plenty of that there.
Yeah.
Tony would have just been in heaven at this place.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's how much alcohol they had.
Yes,
But
Motown would have
ahead,
enjoyed
we go
himself
downstairs,
immensely.
We go to our seats.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the match. And then it starts. The very first match. Josh Crane, Jake Oman,
Yes.
and another guy. All three of them are locals. Guys I used to be here in the ring, used to do shows, around or with.
Yes.
Fight. Hold on. God dog it, I thought I had it memorized and I don't.
That's all right. They fought the Outriders.
Yeah, the Outriders and
the Outriders
Dalton
and Dalton Castle. Yes. And even though this was a dark match for ROH, it set up something that was very crucial to Final Battle, which happened 2 days later.
Right.
Yeah, there was a national title match, the first AEW title defended on ROH TV, Ricochet taking on Dalton Castle. That
Well, hold,
match
hold on,
was.
hold on. We're going a little too far.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Uh, Josh Crane has had tours in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Oman is just a consummate professional. The
Yeah,
other guy I've seen, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but that guy is good too. They gelled well with these guys.
yes.
Awesome match. Off the charts. Had me hyped like, man, they got local mugs on in the ring, all right? Next matchup.
Oh,
I know you got to remember me talking about this girl. The lovely
yes.
Miss Larkin.
Larkin.
Oh my God. I was so happy to see her there. Miss Larkin, for those who don't know, and I'm going to tell you right now, whoever watches this, you better, and I mean better, go to YouTube and type her name in Larkan, the lovely Miss Larkin. She's a badass. She can wrestle, and she has an excellent gimmick to her wrestling. She's a complete package. So I seen her come out there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm really hyped now. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah,
fourth person that's from the area that I know that's on the show, right?
yeah.
Then guess what happened, Marcus?
What's that?
I had to hear the music of Mercedes Moné.
Uh, Buzzkill.
So, but I'm still hyped for her though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, she get to fight Mercedes Moné. This is gonna be a cold ass match. Not 30-second match.
Yes.
Went in, did a couple of things. She kicked her twice. They did something, backstab her, bank statement. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
hot.
yeah. A couple of shots, moneymaker, and it was over.
I'm hot.
Yes, Bobby was extremely pissed off.
So she ain't giving no offense?
Two
None.
kicks.
Yeah. Basically, just a couple of kicks and then out. Yeah, moneymaker and then out.
Yeah. And this girl's a good wrestler. She's not no little bimbo that walks around floating her hair around and all that. This girl, Marcus, you would like her.
Okay.
You would like her.
Oh yeah.
You would sit up here and watch her and be like, oh, this is interesting.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would like her, dude. That's how much I think of her. Because usually I
Yeah,
say you would hate the shit, but
it was a major disappointment for me too because
big.
I have called a match for Miss Larkin before. She did some stuff for New Wave a couple of months ago. She is an OVW alum, and she's quite a hot item on the independent circuit. But then there's two possibilities here. They were running short on production time and they needed to rush through the match in order to make things kosher within the next 10 minutes or so to get Dynamite on the air. Or number two, the obvious answer is that Mercedes pulled rank, didn't think this match was worth her while, and forced them to make it a squash.
But let me state this. After I came home and I talked to Tony Motown, Tony Motown Allen, who always has good points. He made me realize there's a third side to this. Tony stated, look what her story is right now. She's won 13 belts.
Yes.
You know, she's the female Ultimo Dragon. How would it look if an independent star came in there and was wrestling with her? And I had to think
Hmm.
about that for a second. Tony makes sense. I think it was because of what her gimmick is right now. She's getting all these belts. Here comes an independent star out of nowhere, and the way I think Larkin might oh, sorry. I think Larkin might have been taken off guard. And she
Hmm.
came out there all excited, went to shake her hand, and there we go.
Right.
I honestly hope that they face each other again. I think now, since I had to calm down and the initial shock is worn off of me, I think it was the right call because she does have 13 belts and that's her gimmick. But initially, when you're sitting there and it happens, that just shocks the hell out of you and pisses you off.
Mm.
But once I had to think about it, okay, I feel you.
Well, obviously, I think that this was an audition of sorts to see whether like Larkin would work out for ROH and hopefully AEW as well. And part of an audition process is to cooperate with the stars you got. So that's one reason that obviously happened, and AEW is obviously high on Mercedes Monet. Otherwise, she would not have all the hardware that she does.
I mean, I gotta agree, they was real high when they got Mercedes. Oh, high on her. I'm sorry. Thank you. My bad.
Yeah. I was tempted to give that a thank you for joining us, but that's not severe enough. But
But that happened. I'm over there. I'm steaming. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm steaming
yeah, you were
because
extremely pissed
my
off.
girl seemed like she got folded over.
Hmm.
But let me ask you this though, especially in independence, does it matter if you wrestle 30 seconds? Say you get a say as a an indie talent, you get $500 for a match. Is it really going to matter if it's 30 seconds or 30 minutes?
Depends. And this is the way I look at it. If you look at it, somebody that is just going there to get a paycheck, no, it's not going to care for them. Who cares? They're not going to care. My thing is, if I want to go somewhere and I want to go to OVW, no, not OVW, excuse me, AEW or WWE, I want a chance to show what I can do so you could properly evaluate me. And then you can see if I can fit in your system. Me just going in doing 30 seconds, blah, 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 is not showing my skills. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get that, but suppose it's the thing where, let's just say, for example, this shows you a team player. So you're being asked to go out there and get squashed. It just shows you, hey, I'm willing to do whatever. I'm a team player. If you need me to do a squash or you need me to do a marathon, I'm down for whatever. Especially if the money's the same.
No, yeah. Then no, it's cool then. And that's what I had to think about. I had to retract myself and think about that because I don't know. I just see her and I just automatically think because she's so good, it's not going to be any type of squash thing towards her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to sit back and think about that after I talked to Tony, and I'm like, you know what? He's got a point. They do want to see if she's going to cooperate and do whatever.
Well,
She
Marcus,
is on this, you know.
Marcus, I think that the difference in what, and I get what you're saying, and that it really doesn't matter as far as like pay scale or that goes. I think the difference is in where in the negotiation process you are, or where in the promotional relationship you are. Um, if you are just if you're straight from the independents and you've got a whole lot of experience, but you're getting your first shot with a major promotion, and they want you to put a major star over in 30 seconds, then that's more about the company understanding that you're a team player and doing what you're told. Now, if you have done that 3 or 4 times and they keep inviting you back, but they continue to do that with you, then you start to ask the question of why are they only using you in that capacity, especially if you're an independent star and I mean, they think that you're good for squashes, but what else are you good for? Then you need to, if that happens, like keeps happening later in the process, then yeah, you'd start to question what the use of that is, because in Miss Larkin's case, she is highly skilled, highly professional, and she has a interesting gimmick
I
that
love a gimmick.
well, yeah, I mean, and she's been perfecting it in OVW for years. If they use her again and they end up doing the same thing to her with somebody else besides Mercedes Monet, who may or may not have pulled rank in order to have that happen, then I would start to question why they would bother in the first place and what it would be for Larkin besides a paycheck.
Okay. Well, let me ask y'all a question about.
All right.
You had to guess about how old is Miss Larkin? How long? How if you had to guess?
I am pretty sure that she is somewhere in her mid 20s. I
23.
Okay. Well.
23. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, she's young. Because I was going to say, let's look at somebody like Cheeseburger, for example.
Oh, God.
Right now, Cheeseburger's been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
Now he knows this 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 is all. He's never going to WWE. He's never going to AEW, etc., etc. So him going out there and get his ass kicked, that's a paycheck for him. That's it. But again, so if you saw it, like say Miss Larkin was in her late 30s, early 40s, and she knows this is the highest she ever going to get. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, get my paycheck and go home. Hey, it's 30 seconds. Hey, that's all I got to do. But at 23, then yeah, I'm sure she got the dream of WWE, AEW, whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was just curious how old she was, and
Well,
Yeah.
it's just
and
like
let me say this: her skill level makes it way more than a dream, dude. This girl is going to be somewhere.
right. I mean,
She's,
I get it, but not if she was 43, then I don't it wouldn't matter. How good she was at 40.
yeah, because all these old
Right.
dried up dudes want to see some young thing walking around, and
Exactly. Exactly.
they don't care about skill level except how dry or wet the lotion is. So yeah,
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
I mean it's the truth though.
Yeah.
It is granted, but still, it, gentlemen, I mean, it's not necessarily a question of longevity here. It's just a question of skill versus pecking order.
Yeah,
And
that's why I said it depends on the lotion.
Sure.
thank you for joining us on FT. But seriously, there's um there's more to this process than meets the eye, and I'm sure that if Larkin is at the very beginning of this process and they decide to use her, especially in Ring of Honor, which she is more than qualified to get into on the ground level at this point, if not higher, then um, that this match, going through this process and having this squash match would have been worth it. It just depends on whether or not they, during the long run, they use her for more. If she goes through like 4 or 5 matches like this, that are not televised for no reason at all, just to squash her and get paid, that's a waste. But if this is building a foundation of some kind, then I can forgive it.
You know, I hope.
Mhm.
I hope what happened was Mercedes actually likes her, and they put this as a planted as a seed for something later on.
Well, that would matter if AEW had like an NXT or something like that. But you figure if they, how often do they come to Indiana? What, 2, maybe 3 times a year?
Well, we're gonna get to that part in a little bit
Okay,
Mhm.
because that's something that was shocking too for me. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's
Oh
more towards the
yes,
end of the show.
during the course of the show. The first televised match was uh, Pac versus um,
Okada.
Okada. Yes, fantastic
Yeah,
match.
it was. I
Whoa,
enjoy.
whoa, 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 whoa! We skipped a piece though.
We did.
Eddie Kingston versus Samoa Joe promo.
Oh yeah,
Oh well, yeah, that was how the show began. But I was gonna skip to I was gonna skip to the first
And
match.
you know what? You got a point. It's Eddie Kingston. Yeah, let's skip it.
Oh, now come on. Okay, since you've mentioned it, Samoa Joe cut a pretty damn good promo,
Oh hell
and
yeah!
Eddie was just kind of there to rebut in his own style and set up the Winter is Coming title match. Since Bobby was still very pissed off about the Larkin match, he was not happy in the slightest to see Eddie Kingston.
No,
So, there was that. The first match was Okada versus Pac, and it is a Continental Classic match. Okada won, and there was a lot of setup to kind of. I think they may be going for some kind of clash between Death Riders and Callus family, which makes some sense as far as who's dominant. But
I, can I?
the
Can,
Continental Classic is more or less a experiment, as tournaments often are, to see what would be viable as a feud, and there was a lot of groundwork being set there. On top of it being a good match.
and let me say this: Pac walked right past us going to the ring.
Yes, a foot and a half away.
Yeah, and I'm a foot and a half taller than that motherfucker.
Yeah, strangely enough, he's probably only 2 inches taller than me.
I was shocked, but I'm going to tell you this: the guy was right. Well, they yelled it out in the audience. I dare you to eat a carb. That dude,
Oh,
I mean, he fit. The man ain't slouching for nothing.
yeah.
That boy is strong.
Yes, he is.
Pac ain't no joke.
yeah,
He's a
No,
short motherfucker, but he ain't no joke.
no, but Pac is very stacked. He is a damn good athlete, and he proves it every time he goes into the ring. But the
And I enjoyed, and
crowd,
I kind of enjoyed that match.
yeah, I
And
did as
and
well. Yeah,
and that's I know that's gonna shock everybody, but I enjoyed that match.
yeah.
and the crowd was into it the
Boy,
whole night long, which
boy.
factors in later. But yes, there were a lot of smart ass comments from the crowd, especially at one point when some people that were in the very front row ringside were standing up and impeding people's vision.
Oh, that was funny as hell.
They got shouted down. There were chants of "sit forever." Sit forever. Yeah,
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was
yeah,
dying.
yeah. The AEW audience has a damn good sense of humor.
Oh hell yeah. Now after that match, we kind of missed a little bit of this. partially my fault.
Well, see, we went to the merchandise stand because we thought that would be the opportune time. There was a little bit of a line, and we had to search for the stuff. But Bobby and I got a T-shirt each, and just memorabilia. I am wearing mine at the moment. It's a AEW with barbed wire logo right there,
Okay.
and
Cool.
yeah, I like getting merch. It's just I want it to be for the company, not for an individual performer.
I
I,
said
I
screw that. I said screw that. I got mine for Swerve.
well, see, I've been like that through my whole fandom. I like getting stuff for the event, you know.
True, true, true.
Anyway,
But that match was
Kyle Fletcher versus
versus his last
Knight.
name is Knight.
Yes, yeah,
True.
and I believe
Kevin Knight.
yeah,
Yeah,
Kevin Knight. Yeah. Now, I did go back in the highlights and watch that match, and it was damn good.
Yeah,
Kevin Knight is extraordinary,
and
and
for the
he
part that we watched, it was fucking cold.
yeah,
yes.
yeah. He needs to get away from Mike Bailey. He needs to be a singles.
Well, I don't know. Well, see, I like Mike Bailey too.
He's not bad, but Kevin Knight to me is a singles as far as I'm
Is
concerned.
that Speedball?
Yeah,
Oh, he
Yeah.
definitely need to get away from him. He
yeah.
need to run from him.
Mhm.
Uh,
I mean,
I
you're on the track. It's summertime. Somebody's got the gun. They say ready, set, go, and pop that motherfucker. He takes off. He needs to run from him.
uh,
I don't.
Speedball Mike Bailey kind of reminds me of Mark Youngblood back in the day because he's built the same way and he's got kind of the same plucky kind of attitude, and I like Speedball. So
I hear the name Speedball. I think of a crackhead.
uh,
I'm just saying.
yeah, I know.
Speedball, what you doing? I just
Thank
got you coming out this house.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Anyway, that was an excellent match. And then afterwards, we got a promo with Fletcher about the Young Bucks and their money.
Oh yeah.
And that led to a segment where the Bucks and Omega came out again. Bobby was not amused. And the Bucks were trying to get back the money that they had the money they had won at Full Gear. So, they were continuing that angle.
And
Yeah.
my thing is, they keep fucking with me. This show kept fucking with because I was way up here on that match. And then they had to give me the Young Bucks and make me go, ah.
Well, see, it wasn't about the overall quality of the show. There were just a lot of people on this program that Bobby did not personally like.
I wish I could have ran them over with a car.
See, there you go. And I don't disagree because I just
Do
I
you know
don't
how bad I want to yell CM Punk when they came out?
I imagine so. Well, see, I don't I feel the same way about the Bucks that you do, but it didn't spoil the rest of the show for me because there's so much else on there that I did like.
They were getting there.
Yeah.
Next matchup. And I love this one. Timeless. Tony Storm.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Jesus.
don't tell me you don't like her either.
Well, no, it's this match. He brought. Fucking me.
Marcus doesn't like the context of it.
No. I'll say, you know what? As you say, Rob. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And Mina, take it on.
Mina Kurosawa versus Willow Nightingale and
No. No one Willow.
I thought
That
it
was
was.
Megan Bain and Chauffeur.
Oh yeah, that's right. Marina Shafir and Megan Bain.
I would have got kicked out if that was Willow in the ring.
No, no, I'm thinking forward to the finals. Okay, I'm sorry. No, it was Shafir and Bain versus Storm and Kurosawa.
Let that would have been Willow coming to the ring. I'd have had. Yeah. I got in trouble.
Uh-huh.
I'd got in trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, the theme of the match was the semifinal of the tournament for the tag titles, and Storm and Kurosawa got to pick the stipulation, and they picked this god awful holidays themed hardcore match with fucking skillets and a decorated table and just oh good god almighty, and on top of that, Luther comes out in a fucking Santa suit to interfere in the match, and I just out of my least favorite thing of the whole fucking night was this thing.
Rob, you
And
stole thunder, Rob, but go ahead.
no, that's no. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. But Marcus, if you wanna elaborate on that, go ahead.
Well, now I'll save it for tap out. It's
Okay. All right, we'll save it. But anyway, I just the one part of the night that I couldn't fucking stand was Bobby's favorite, and I will let him elaborate on that.
Yes, because the ironic thing about this is I don't like death matches,
Hmm.
but the way they worked this match got me interested, got me liking it.
See, it's double ironic because I typically like death matches, so this is just all sorts of weird here.
I know. Um, Tony Storm, of course, is in her character doing her thing. I'm sorry though, there is nothing to fear from Mina from Shafir. Nothing to fear from her at all. She
yes,
doesn't scare me one bit.
it is. You get hit in the head with one of those rock hard silicone boot tits she got.
Oh, thank you for joining us on it. Oh my God.
That would scare the hell out of me.
Uh,
I wouldn't care.
Well, okay.
Neither would I, but thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
As soon as she did it, I'd be like, "Got milk?"
Thank you for oh my
Uh,
God.
ain't no milk come off them hard ass things.
Hey, we
Thank
could
you
try.
for
Uh,
thank you for joining us on FTW Future wow, we're racking them up now.
That's what she said.
Thank you for joining. Oh dear God. Unbelievable.
But yeah, straight up, I enjoyed that match, and I do not know why I enjoyed that death match. But it was well put together. They did what they were supposed to do, and they got over. I liked it. It's just weird. This night brought a lot about myself I did not realize.
Ah.
So here we go with the next match.
Mm-hmm.
The match that confused the shit out of me, and I guess I got to watch it more to understand this shit. And that was the Ops taking on Kyle, not Kyle Fletcher, the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Now, first off, I thought that they retired the Dark Order.
I did, or released them. I did too.
I thought the Dark Order was the Light Order, and they just floated off somewhere. But Evil Uno does his little thing before the match. I don't know what the hell he said, but the Ops come out, which is Hook. Who else was it? It was Hook.
As Hook, Shibata, and
Huh.
Hobbs.
Okay, Hobbs is my dude. Hobbs shouldn't even be part of the Ops, in my opinion. Hobbs should be getting his single title somewhere. Shibata, I,
Who
I
cares?
I like Shibata.
I
I
don't
like
know him. I don't care.
Shibata is a huge deal in Japan, and he would be a huge deal here. and should be a huge deal here. It's
Why?
because he's a cold-blooded Dean Malenko type of technician,
I
and if
seen
he
nothing
were
of Dean nor Malenko when he was in that ring.
if he was marketed in the fashion that he should be, he would be a ultimate badass.
The
That
He
problem
was,
the problem is they started with that stupid ass gimmick with that voice shit. They fucked him up from they fucked him up from jump. Where he can't speak English and he has to do this to understand what he's saying. What the hell kind of killer is that?
well, I enjoy what he does in the ring. So just cold ass shit, like the match he had with Garcia. When at the beginning of his AEW run, where he started doing the dance shit, and then Shibata just slapped the ever loving shit out of him and made him be serious. That happened on an ROH show when Shibata was the pure champion, and that made me a Shibata fan for life. Just go in there, and if you do something silly with him, he slaps the taste out of your fucking mouth. That's why I love Shibata.
but wait a minute. We got Jada Parker to slapping taste out of people's mouth all day long.
I didn't say that I don't like Jada Parker, did I?
Yeah, but I understand Jada Parker. I don't understand this dude.
Yeah.
Uh, Shibata is no gimmicks needed. That's the point.
Shabbat needs a gimmick.
No,
He
no,
had a
that
gimmick
would.
and was horrible.
Oh, so that's
Oh,
why I'm not understanding it. Okay.
Rob, you got
oh,
that gimmick was awful. You got to admit.
Because I'm
oh.
sorry. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it 100.
I mean that thing was just. I mean, they ruined him for me with that alone.
And it ain't hitting right now. Shabbat ain't hitting.
Well, irregardless, Shibata should be hitting because he's awesome. But
Well,
anyway, the,
this is the
the, the match
problem.
itself.
This is the problem. Shibata is looking like he's the first half of his name and taking the bottom out.
Oh,
I'm just keeping it 100.
okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
I'm trying, and you gotta understand, I'm trying here. When I went to the show, I'm trying to be objective.
I
And
got
I'm not
you.
trying to, I don't kiss no behinds. I'm just telling them 100% truth.
Yeah.
I don't get Shibata.
I, the Dark Order did not help this particular thing. There are individually they're talented people, with maybe the exception of Evil Luno, but Reynolds and Hungy, they're good.
The little short dude with the straights is kind of cold. I like him.
Yeah, Johnny Hungy is good.
But the rest of them is like, go back to whatever order you came from. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Anyway, it was kind of a random match so that they could set up stuff between Joe and Kingston and other things, that and
Hmm.
reminding us that Paige is still in the picture.
Yep. So went through that. And then,
The
good
main event.
Lord. This is where I lost all hope. The fucking main event. John Moxley taking on Claudio Castagnoli. I was hoping and praying. I was saying, listen, he's going into Claudio. Let this be a good technical match. Let this be a good wrestler match. Don't let him bleed this time. Don't let him bleed all over the place.
Actually,
Don't let them. Just let them go ahead and do a couple of holds. And within 5 damn minutes,
hmm
the man looked like a Heinz ketchup bottle. It's the same shit over and over and over again. Just like Roman Reigns said, it's like missionary every single night. God, I'm tired of it. What makes me this is what makes me mad. And it makes me more angrier than others. John Moxley used to be a heavyweight champion here in Indianapolis. This is way back when I very first started. Before he went to WWE, before he was in CZW. John Moxley was a champion of a federation out here called Insanity Pro Wrestling
Mm-hmm.
on the south side of Indianapolis. They used to wrestle out of the Salvation Army gym down there
Yeah.
until CCW went in there and screwed that up. Um, I know what he can do. I've seen it with my own eyes. What he's doing now is nothing compared to what he was doing when he was at IPW. And it pisses me off that he doesn't showcase that and show another side of him wrestling than what he has on TV so far. This is terrible. Every single time he's bleeding. I know Flair used to do it a lot, but he makes Flair look like an angel. I'm sick of seeing him in matches where he bleed. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be an ass. I'm just being serious. I'm sick of it.
All right. Well,
Castagnoli is awesome, and I like the fact that Castagnoli won his match. I
yeah.
like the fact that he did get some of his wrestling in, but it was a brawl most of the time. And I'm sorry, Moxley has wrestling skills. Bring he was trained by Cody Hawk, dude. Bring out those wrestling skills and shock everybody, at least for one fucking match. And it was again missionary. I was not happy.
Well, I was not as upset with the bleeding as Bobby was. Could this match have been a little bit more than a pure sixer? Probably it could have been. But the point that they were trying to emphasize was a two members of the Death Riders beating each other half to death. That was their whole point, and at least it was logical the way that Moxley bladed. Castagnoli picked him up and like bodily rammed the side of his head into the fucking steps. He bladed off of that. Granted, Moxley does it a lot, but it made sense in this context. Number two, the point of the match was to also show that Moxley has huge endurance. Yeah, huge endurance, but came out on the losing end. And it also emphasized how dangerous Claudio is. And in the overall context of what the tournament is trying to say, it brings dissension within the Death Riders to the forefront, possibly. Um, what they're going to have to deal with in terms of the Callis family is brought to fore. Um, it also sets up something later on that Moxley is going to take on Takeshita in the next leg of the tournament. So we complain constantly about AEW not being able to tell stories. Well, this tournament itself is a story, and I think this match forwarded it. I mean, you can think that the storyline sucks, but AEW, in terms of answering their critics, has been doing that. So I can't complain about this match.
Marcus, did you see it?
Yeah, it was nothing special. I mean, as a Claudio fan, I'm glad he won. And I think it's fairly obvious that either they're going to bring somebody in to take Moxley's place as leader of Death Riders, or Claudio is going to take over that role. I'm glad right now he's leading this tournament, and I really hope that um, this proceeds with him. But I mean, anytime Moxley loses, I'm glad to see it. So I was happy.
Something else that happened here that was very important to me. Um, Either before this match, I think it was shortly before this match, they actually explained why the Continental Classic is still the Continental Classic. That even though the titles are unified, they're still two separate belts, and that the Continental title is being defended in the tournament as opposed to the International. So they made sense out of that when I had questions. So just an aside on that point.
Yeah. But after that fiasco, I was pretty upset. But Tony Khan came out and said, you know what? We're getting done here. But check this out. How would you like one more match? Cool.
Mhm. And the crowd loved
Went
it.
nuts.
Yes.
Went nuts. So he did something. They did some announcements, joked about Bob, the ring guy,
Yeah.
and then came back and said, well, how about if I give you two more matches?
Two more matches.
And it's like, oh, okay, Tony, go ahead. So I got the first one, and that was the Beast Mortos taking on
Versus
Commander.
Commander.
You mean you can't? Oh, okay,
Now, hold on, Marcus.
okay.
I'm going to say this. To me, Commander is a guy you got to see in person.
Yes.
When you look at him on TV, it's like, really? As I'm watching him in person, I'm seeing him doing his stuff. He's doing some real crazy shit,
Yes.
and it don't translate on TV well. See it in person, you're like, oh my god, what the heck, But
Well,
on TV, it's like,
Well,
really?
when you're live, you get to see what he's actually as opposed to on television. You got to worry about camera angles and all of that sort of thing. But when you see the crazy shit that he's doing on the ropes in context of a live show, it's amazing.
Yeah,
And,
and I
and
gotta admit, he kind of impressed me live.
yeah, and
I don't think
again,
I ever like. I don't think I ever get to like him when I'm watching him on TV. I don't think I will.
And again, this was an ROH match, and it set up something important for later on, which I'll get to in my moment of the week.
But
Um,
what was the other match? Oh,
uh,
it was a tag team match.
yeah, the last match was the local brothers tag team, who they called the Williams Brothers, but they go by a different name
Yeah,
on.
there's a highlight reel out
Uh,
here.
yes, the highlight reel. Then they took on Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta.
And it was a pretty good match.
Yes, yes, it was.
The the highlight reel has always, and this is another one, guys. If you're watching this on a replay, my thing is to look these guys up the highlight reel.
Uh,
Awesome tag team. They're twins. These guys, I mean,
yeah,
put it all out there. Check them out. Check out.
and
Check out.
and and this is something that I will say for AEW that WWE never or rarely does. When they go to a city and they have dark matches, they will give local talent a chance to showcase themselves on a larger stage.
You just you
WWE
just you just took my.
I wasn't meaning to, Bobby. I just kind of was I was coloring in the edges. I'm sorry.
Mm. Marcus, you see how he treats me?
Hey,
Believe me, it is meant in the most loving context possible. It,
Yeah. Okay,
it,
but
it, Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh,
the
good.
highlight reel showed out.
Yes, they did. Yes,
They
they did.
showed out. They gave them some time where they could do their thing, and they showed out.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if highlight reel ain't on
Now,
late
Bobby,
soon.
so I do not steal your thunder again. Before we leave this subject, talk about what the audience did at the end of the night.
That's what I'm about to do.
Yes.
Well, and this is gonna lead into part of my moment of the week.
Mhm.
I have been one of the most critical people of Tony Khan on this program for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like gauging the people. Are you enjoying yourself? Yes. Well, you know. And the crowd was rabid. I mean, the crowd was straight rabid.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, "So, what do you guys want?" And everybody started chanting pay per view.
Yes.
it wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't saying new Booker, new Booker, new Booker.
No, it was not.
Wow. No,
Uh,
they were chanting pay per view.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, how is he gonna do this one? And this is throughout the night. He's doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So he goes to the back and he's talking, and I'm seeing he's talking to the people from Fishers. You know what I'm saying? And he kept coming out, and then he finally came out during this time and said, "So let me just make sure I had it straight. If we came back here for another dynamite, would you come?" Everybody like, "Yes." If we came for a collision, would you come? Yes.
Yeah.
And
oh,
then what do you want after that? Pay per view. I mean, it was nuts. It was straight nuts. I have never been around that many rabid people in my life since they was getting out government cheese. I'm telling you, it was. I was just shocked, like, wow. But Tony ain't gonna pull this off. So after the match, he comes out and says, "Well, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I don't know when we're gonna be able to do it, but I'm gonna do it." This motherfucker just went to the back and talked to the event staff there, Fishers. I know he could do the dynamite there at least. So they're probably working on that. But he's gonna do a pay per view here, not because it was planned in 6 months, 8 months in advance. Just because the people were that enthusiastic and wanted to have a show.
fuck.
What happened?
Green Bay's got nothing. Green Bay about to be up 14-3.
Oh well.
Man,
But the one thing I can say is, as much crap as I give Tony Khan, he does honestly listen to the fans. He listens to them 100%.
so
Versus,
where's our new Booker at then?
okay, he listens to everybody except that part, all right?
Yeah.
But he also, how can I say this? There's also another company that don't listen. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They never do something like that. They never do something like that organically. You want us here, we'll be here.
Yes. Yeah. The key
That
word there is organic.
that got to me. That had to make me think. Would I rather spend my money with someone that don't give a shit about what I think and spend it on different corporate entities and blah 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 blah? Or would I rather spend my money with somebody that will invest it back into the very people that want to see them? And that's just because they said that. And I gotta go with B. Tony Khan earned my respect off of that one move that night, and more than any time that I ever been reporting on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think he's the most wonderful booker in the world? No. Do I think his shows are grade A, top notch? No, I don't. Not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna sit up there and play that game.
Mhm.
But because he is about the people, and he's truly about giving something to those fans that come and spend their hard earned money to come see, I, I was impressed.
I mean, let's look at this in context. Okay, I agree part mostly with what you say, but let's look at AEW and let's look at WWE.
Okay.
Now, WWE ain't gonna be in no fucking Griffith, Indiana. If WWE is coming to Indiana, they're in Indiana at the big stadium, where you're not going to have whether it was Vince or Hunter coming out asking 15, 20,000 people, hey, you want us back? No, you're not going to do that compared to what a small arena that you all said was three-fourths full. Yeah, you got to ask if they want them to come back because it's not sold out. So yeah, you got to ask. I mean, I guess it's a nice idea to do that, but I mean, you can. It's easier to do that with a few thousand. Three, no, I'll say it was about 4,500 compared to what 15, 17,000. I mean, that's a hell of a difference.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, they can do that.
Yeah, but it's
They
not
get
the
on they get on the mic and do everything else.
yeah, but it's not the same organic. You're not gonna get that same organic. They're already telling them they want them back because there's 17,000 there, and when they announce at the end of the night, hey, we'll be back in 3 months. You want to buy tickets now? They're gonna be half told. They already know that. You don't know if you got a half full arena that only holds 5,000 6,000. Yeah, you got to ask.
Well, okay, Marcus, I understand what you're saying in that WWE doesn't have to do that and pretty much won't because they know that their shit is locked in.
Exactly.
That's a fair point to make. I would just prefer to be treated with some sort of respect, like my dollar and my attention matters, rather than being treated like a an egg in a carton to be filled. It's the difference between um, dating a moderately homely looking woman that treats you right versus dating a supermodel who's gonna wipe her boots with your face because she knows she can get away with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But by using your example, if if the fucking supermodel chick wipes your face with wipes your her boots with your face, and you're into that, and you do you're telling that supermodel, yeah, I'm like Tony Atlas. Now I want you wiping your face all over. I'm into that. Yeah,
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus, and
so,
I picked the wrong analogy.
Tony
so
Atlas.
so you're Hunter the same thing that you're telling Tony Khan. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my money regardless of whether you wipe your feet with me or you wipe or sit in your face. It's the same thing.
See
Uh,
this, but see, this is why I have not spent a single solitary dime on WWE programming in 7 years, and why I. Will spend money if I have to on Tony Khan's product because he doesn't treat people that way. At least not yet. Once he does, then I'll reconsider that choice because I don't like being disrespected. There are. I don't get into fights very often, but yeah, I prefer to be treated with respect by someone who respects my opinion rather than keep shoveling money at something that is going to treat me like a number.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Rob. If
Okay.
the show was in Conseco, okay, well, let's just say 13,000. Not even sold out with 13,000. Do you think that same shit would have happened?
A
What do you
lo-
mean?
what do you
That
mean
that
that?
that that, that if you in the big stadium in Indiana like WWE, and
Right.
instead of 4,500, that was about what you would say, what, three quarters full.
Yeah, 13,000 as opposed to 4,000.
All right, right. So let's just say you at Conseco and you got about between 13, 15,000 people there. Do you think Tony Conway brought his ass out there asking y'all that?
Maybe.
I doubt it. But okay.
No, once the show was off the air, the way that he did it that night, then that's quite possible. But again, you make a good point in that the venue does make a difference. It was more intimate.
Exactly.
The, but as far as the overall point is that WWE treats fans like shit and AEW does not so much.
Now, is it a matter because they can't treat them like shit because they need them more in WWE?
Maybe, but then again, if WWE keeps treating people like shit, they're going to have to start kissing their ass
Boy,
because then the viewership will drop eventually.
Yeah, yeah,
It already is.
that's true.
yeah, but they not, but they, and it's still better than AEW's.
Yeah, but for how long?
As
Uh,
long
but
as, long
but
as Tony Khan's the booker and giving us this shit show they giving us.
Yeah, but Triple H is based on Survivor Series and how shitty that was.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
see,
okay, okay. You know what? Touche. You got me.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I think that's a good segue into our next subject, Bobby.
Yes. Basically, Netflix. Ooh, ooh. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. Moment of the week. We got to get through this. Let's do moment of the week and you tapped out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Moment of the week.
Um, I'll go first because I'll make mine short and sweet. My moment of the week was on Friday, Ring of Honor Final Battle 2025. Great fucking card. Our Ring of Honor is still and has always been probably the best representation of professional wrestling that could possibly exist. The matches were great, and they actually furthered some storylines that were set up on Dynamite. Mercedes Monet lost the ROH TV title. She is no longer 13 belts, she's 12. She lost it to Red Velvet. And I think that might be one of the reasons why that squash match happened, because she had to get ready to lose to Red Velvet, and it was a great match. Um, the the uh, uh, main event four-way had Commander and Mortos in it, which played in, and uh, the Athena match where she retained. It was just a fantastic it was a fantastic show, and it was like the highlight of my week, like the cherry on top of the sundae. So final battle for Ring of Honor was my moment.
yeah.
Marcus.
I've seen some people online saying that Athena match might be women's match of the year. I've seen
Okay,
Really?
it's a contender.
it was that good.
Yes, fuck yes.
Okay.
Penelope was fantastic.
Okay. My moment was it was on WWE, the Illinois Dragunov match against Melo Hayes. I'm really enjoying this open challenge run that Dragunov is good. Like every match he's had, from Sammy to even Gargano, it's been great matches, and I'm looking forward to next week when he fights um, Tommaso Ciampa next week. That's gonna be a beat. I'm
Oh
looking.
God, I gotta I gotta get on the high seas to see that.
Yeah, yeah, but Dragunov has been great since he's come back and got that belt. That was my moment.
Sweet, Bobby.
My moment of the week was AEW. Like I said, what Tony Khan did was something you don't see that often, and it really got to me and touched me.
Mhm.
It was a good moment. The whole AEW event, where it was more of, how can I say, the crowd was more of a friendly crowd. Even the staff, like I said, was top notch. You just can't top what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going
Well,
with
well, Marcus, you are the innovator of Tap Out of the Week. Have at it.
Okay, as I kind of alluded to earlier, my tap out was the semifinal women's tag match. I can anybody answer me? Why do you need a gimmick match inside of a gimmick? Okay, the gimmick is the tournament, and
Hmm.
it's not even the finals. This is the semifinals at that. You have a gimmick match of a fucking death match. Why do you need that? I mean, if you're going to do some bullshit like this, at least let it be the finals, at least. So my question is, well, what the fuck are y'all gonna do for the finals now? I mean, you gave us a death match for the semifinal. What the fuck are you gonna do for the final? You can't do a regular match now, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, this is already a badass idea anyway. So it's like Tony Khan can't help himself. If I gotta have a tournament now, on top of a tournament, I gotta throw in a death match on top of that. What the entire fuck? I don't. I'm just like, what am I watching here? This. Of course, I didn't watch it. I mean, y'all know me. I fast forward to the end of that shit. Y'all already know I don't. Y'all know I wasn't gonna watch it regardless. But I just don't get why see a gimmick inside of a gimmick. I don't. That's my tap out.
Well, let's just say Bobby enjoyed that match a hell of a lot more than I did. But Bobby, could you give your tap out? Because my tap out is kind of a transition. So,
how many things should I choose? I think me and you might have the same transition.
Okay.
So I'm
All
gonna let
right.
Marcus go.
Well, all right. In that case, my tap out of the week is the announcement that Netflix is in the top running to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery. Because if this sale goes through, we all know what could potentially happen. And I stand by my word that I have said on this program from the jump when it comes to AEW. AEW, for better or worse, is my ride or die. And if WWE gets their monopoly back, especially like this, a backdoor fucking deal that that cuts out their competition by proxy, then I am not a wrestling fan anymore. I will cut WWE out of my life, and it I won't even miss it because I'll still be able to get my wrestling fix by being involved with New Wave and finding other things on the independent circuit. But as far as being a commercial wrestling fan and crawling back to WWE, to hell with that. There is no way in hell. If Netflix cuts the balls off AEW and they have to find another distributor and have to go out of business because of that, then fuck WWE. Then, now, and forever, I'm completely done with them. I won't even pirate their shit anymore. I won't even review it anymore. I would be done completely and forever with WWE if this shit goes down. Now, if they're locked into the contract with Max and they negotiate to go to Amazon or something else once Netflix decides to fuck with them, then that's a completely different story. It would still be in the running, and hopefully Tony Khan is smart enough to do that. And based on what we saw on Wednesday, I think that he just might be. But this whole thing is bullshit of the highest order, and it makes me want to fucking puke. And not even that Netflix is like doing this on purpose to deliberately fuck with Tony Khan. Obviously, they want Warner Brothers movie libraries so that they can fuck that up too. But the residual effects, if this happens and it fucks up AEW, then wrestling fans as a whole will lose. And not only is that my tap out for the week, but like for the fucking month. Bobby, on you.
Well, with this Netflix deal, I did some research and I wanted to see what could happen in this situation.
Mhm.
Now, this situation is tricky, and it depends on how the contract is written when they sold everything. What it looks like, and see this Netflix deal hits me on two fronts. Not only does it hit me with the professional wrestling thing, but also my favorite video game, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, which is under NetherRealm Studios. So now Netflix owns my favorite video game too. Whoa. And we've already had drama with that coming up in the past few years. So the way it's supposed to happen is they're supposed to honor the contract that was already made. Because it's not the fault of the person, the other party that signed the contract, and it's not at fault of the person who sold it, because if you want to sell it and they want to buy it, they should know what comes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, their current deal that they have to honor it by purchasing like they did. But that doesn't mean they have to stream it. And this is where the technical part comes in. They do have an exclusive contract with WWE already that states Netflix can't show other stuff unless it's a WWE affiliate. Common practice. Now, they can technically get away with it right now because most of their stuff is under HBO Max. Not only that, the TV stuff is under some global discovery channel that they're coming up with. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna have TNT, TBS, all of them, under that brand. So technically, Netflix doesn't have anything to do with it, but technically it does because they're the governing body. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a catch-22 right now, to where they could do some stuff and they would have to keep them on until the contract's up and don't renew that contract. They could be petty and they could go through things. And any little thing that they don't do it at AEW, they can try to pull out and say it's a violation of the contract to terminate the contract, which means they don't even get paid the rest of the money either. Or C, they could sit back and really be like, hold on, we got both of these. Let's see who comes out the best in the end, and then we'll deal with it then. I'm thinking it's going to be C,
Hmm.
and this is the reason why. Corporations are greedy. If WWE doesn't hit certain amount of numbers, they can terminate their contract too. So if AEW gets respectable numbers and they're a more cheaper federation to deal with money wise, this could reverse back on WWE and say you're not hitting these numbers, blah blah blah. We're going to terminate your contract, and there's no more money coming to them. This is a very interesting scenario that I can't wait to see how it plays out because there are so many avenues this could go down, but it screws us as wrestling fans because we don't know where to watch or who to watch or which direction to watch. Netflix with this purchase, it's, it's the same thing with the video game. We don't know what the heck's going to happen with Injustice and Mortal Kombat. We don't know what the production time's going to be. We don't know what the next game they're going to order them to make. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So with all of these technical wires that could go any way, connect, and just light up a house, we have to be on our P's and Q's. We have to be more aware. Because if they see they can get pro wrestling, but at a cheaper cost, and Tony Khan, they gonna give him a low ball offer, but Tony Khan will probably accept it. And then he gonna go to WWE and be like, listen, technically, they're not on Netflix, but you ain't even doing your job here on Netflix. So you either take less money or you gotta go. And WWE is out of it then. Because they ain't gonna take less money. We're
I
one of
am.
these
No, go ahead.
we're one of these crossroads that makes you really scratch the hair out your head. As you see, it's doing a very fine job.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping that people can come level headed. They keep them on the TNT channels. They keep WWE on the channels they have and let everybody ride with it. I'm just afraid that's not going to happen.
Well, typically I am not the glasses half full kind of guy, but there's two things that might be silver linings here. Number one, AEW has already done business pay-per-view wise with Amazon. So there's history there. If Netflix does buy Warner Brothers Discovery and they decide to be dicks and like start screwing with AEW, cuts off the streaming and like outright screws them over just because they had WWE first, then Tony Khan could, number one, sue Netflix for breach of contract due to what he signed with WBD. And at the same time, he could get the same deal that WWE has with Netflix and get that for AEW with Amazon if he starts negotiating now. And he may very well have that on the back burner, God willing. But there is a D to the scenario D to what you were talking about just now, Bobby. It is quite possible that if the sale goes through and Netflix has both WWE and AEW under their umbrella, that they could force cross promotion. Because think about this. Remember what we were talking about before the Endeavor sale. We were
Yeah.
talking, we were talking about the forbidden door being open because Vince McMahon would never cross promote with Tony Khan, but the new company, whether it be NBC or Fox or whoever we thought was going to buy WWE, they might do business with Tony Khan. So if technically WWE and AEW are both roundabout owned by Netflix or has agreements with Netflix, then Netflix is going to go to both WWE and AEW and say, look, guys, we don't care about what competition you're having between each other. We want a joint show so that we can make billions of dollars and get both of you out of debt. I don't think AEW is in debt, but WWE is at least still $2 billion in the hole through TKO.
True.
What
True.
better way to get, and it would be the wildest, most dream matchiest, biggest fucking thing ever in pro wrestling because it's what we didn't get in the invasion angle.
That's true.
I mean, we instead it would be what we should have got with the invasion angle 30 years too late, but it would but it's granted, this is pie in the sky, dreaming like a fan kind of shit, but wouldn't it be awesome if we did get a fucking crossover WWE AEW event just because Netflix had rights to both? Just saying.
Marcus.
Okay, I think option C is the most likely avenue. And Rob, I don't think you're gonna. I'm going to explain why I don't think you're going to get cross promotion because basically it's going to depend on the fans. If enough people come out and watch AEW, then they're going to have to listen. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, after from what Tony Khan says, his contract is good to 2027. Now, let this is why we won't get the cross promotion, and this is what if I'm Tony Khan, if I negotiate with Netflix, this is where I'm coming at with WWE. All you have is Raw. That's it. You ain't got one portion of the old WWE product. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you Dynamite, I'll give you Collision, I will give you the our 6 year library plus Ring of Honor library, and I'll give you
Mm-hmm.
pay-per-views.
Pay-per-view. Yeah.
I'm giving you everything, whereas all they're giving you is Raw. You don't get SmackDown. ESPN got the pay-per-views, and you don't have the library. And what
Mm-hmm.
do all streaming services want? They want content.
Libraries.
Right. They want content.
Content. Yeah.
Right.
Good point.
Right. So if I'm Tony Khan, I'm offering you all that. I'm giving you everything for the same money, the same damn money. Now that's if they deliver even decent numbers, that's something that Netflix has to look at because I don't think Netflix give a fuck about putting AEW out of business or like you said, the wrestling competition. I don't think they're in bed with WWE to put them out of business when WWE is only giving them Raw. And from what I understand, the numbers aren't what they expect them to be. So I don't think I think Tony Khan AEW has a shot to be on Netflix if enough people come out and show, yeah, we will watch. You know, fuck it, you can stay on Raw. Um, like they can tell WWE, you can have your Monday slot, but I'm giving them Wednesday. Fuck y'all. I'm giving y'all Wednesday. We paying you your millions. Shut the fuck up. You don't run. You don't run. No, Ari Emanuel. You don't run nothing over here. You don't run nothing. We gonna do what we do because they're giving us the numbers and they're giving us the whole ball of wax to where you're just giving us a piece of the pie. We giving Tony's giving us everything. So they got a shot. AEW has a shot if they pull enough numbers, I think.
Well, Marcus bringing the positivity. Thank you. I feel a lot better now than
It's,
at first I was pissed about this.
yeah.
Well, technically I still am, but the way that you put it, I'm a little more hopeful now.
Well, it's a long shot, but it's a big if. But I just think it's possible because TKO is going with the money. Okay, they're going with the money. So if they can split it up with ESPN, and UPN for NXT and who is it, USA?
Netflix for USA for SmackDown.
Yeah, so they gonna do it again. If they offer Tony Khan the same money, maybe a little bit more for what Warner offered him, he's taking it. He can have everything. He can have it all. That's hours and hours of new content, which Netflix would just drool over.
Hmm?
And
But
there's also
and
content that has not been tapped that often either.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Marcus, I think you
that
saw
that
the puzzle.
that conversation ended a lot better than I thought it was going to. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
No,
Mhm.
I see AEW has a way through. It's just the fact of will the AEW fans put the numbers up so they can be competitive?
And that's the key right there.
Well, yes, but see, here's the thing. As Bobby saw firsthand and witnessed, AEW's fan base is very passionate. Now, but maybe the problem is expansion. Maybe they're going to need some help doing that. But by God, if they do, then WWE is going to actually have to step it up like they did and the lazy shit that they did at Survivor Series and in other avenues is completely unacceptable then.
And another,
So
I'm sorry. And another thing is, I think WWE may have to be a little bit worried about is now AEW will have the same platform that they have. So could it be possible that maybe some WWE fans might switch a little bit, or maybe they won't be exclusive WWE anymore? I mean, with the same platform, maybe a few would let me see what the competition is about. Let's just take a look at.
yeah, see that's something that has always pissed me off that people are there's some aspect of fandom in wrestling right now to where people will shut out everything but WWE and they won't take the time to look up any other aspects of professional wrestling because they think that WWE is professional wrestling exclusively and it ain't. So there you're making a point there too. So yeah, I mean there's this is a very complex scenario here.
True.
I wish that it just I don't trust corporate entities and it just I also don't trust Netflix. So as much as I would like to believe in what you guys are talking about, and I looking at it from your point of view, it's very hopeful. But I can't get around the idea that TKO is going to try to influence this situation and try to get their monopoly back through some kind of backdoor screw job.
Well, absolutely they are, and they should. I don't blame them for doing that. But again, it comes down to the fans. It don't matter what WWE says. If AEW fans show out enough to make Netflix take a look at it, I mean that's what's going to come down to.
Well,
That's true.
I am certainly going to show up. Like I said, AEW is my ride or die. For better or worse. Sometimes they do make a shitload of mistakes, but by God, I will never be a crawl back to WWE. With or without Vince McMahon, WWE has completely and totally shattered any loyalty that I once had to them. And if they become the only game in town again, then I'm no longer a wrestling fan. At least not commercially. I'll get my fix from the indie circuit, but that's it.
Yes,
Fuck WWE.
11-14.
I think that was for the Bears, not for me. Okay. Well,
Let's wrap it up.
well, Bobby, how do you want to wrap up the show today?
Just wrap it up.
All righty. Well, on behalf of the mastermind Bobby Rogers and marvelous Marcus Buckley, technical difficulties and all, this is your not so humble correspondent Robert Black. Signing off. We will definitely see you in the future. We have no James Brown, and I'm not going to sing it, so we will see you next week.